One thing that I've learned to do really well over the past maybe year, last few months especially, is being able to freaking say no. And you might, listen to that and be like, oh, that's so weird, is saying no such a big deal? The amount of people exist that actually do or don't do something purely because of what other people around them, their friends, family, whatever, force them to, is actually ridiculous. I have seen it so many times, especially with the closest of people around me. They will do something that they usually wouldn't do, and it may not even be good for them, purely because people around them are forcing them to do it. And why? Because they have the fear of losing people. When you spend a lot of time by yourself alone, same thing. But when you spend a lot of time alone, people say it's not a good thing and whatever. Yeah, obviously, if you go to extreme levels, it's not a great thing. But when you do spend enough time alone, you will realize how much of your life you have actually been living for yourself and how much of it you've been living for other people. And last I checked, you want to live life on your terms for yourself, not really for other people or to please other people, is what I would imagine. I don't know if you have different opinions. If you have different opinions, you can click off the video because it's not for you. And so many people I find, they literally almost every decision they make on a day-to-day basis is purely because of what other people think, what other people want or don't want. And it's ridiculous. Like, does it really even matter much? Like, if you struggle to say no to people, or put people away, you're really living with a big disadvantage, in my opinion. At some point you will eventually realize that these opinions from people don't really matter as much as you think in your own head. It is crazy. Even I used to, go through this period, especially when I just started getting into the teenage phase. Almost every decision I made on a day-to-day basis, especially when I went to school and stuff, was what the heck the other people thought of me, how the heck I freaking sat on the chair, how the heck I spoke to people, how the heck I freaking shook my hand with people, how I wore my hair, like all this stuff. How I styled my hair, not wore my hair, but it would depend so much on what freaking kids and teachers around me would think. If you're worried so much that random bunch of people in your school, freaking work, whatever, what they're gonna think of you, like it really doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter what pleasure you're gonna get from life if you're living off what other people think of you. Who cares if they don't freaking like you? Who cares if they don't accept you? Yeah, you may be alone for a while, but I've said this so many times in my previous videos, you will realize eventually, like, if you've been through a phase where you spend time with people who you don't like, and then you spend time alone, you will realize that spending time alone is far better than spending time with people who are just completely on a different boat to you. Like, you cannot relate to them with anything. It's much better to be alone, and only if you're going to be alone are you actually going to eventually attract people who are more like you, who you will actually like to spend time with and be around. Just drop the fear of losing people. So many people struggle. When someone asks something, they struggle to say, no, I don't want to do this. No, I don't want to go with you. No, I don't want to freaking do this nonsense. Like, people struggle to do that because they fear that that bunch of people is gonna think bad of you. Who cares if they freaking think bad of you? As long as you know what you're doing is right, that's literally all that matters. Nobody cares what your stupid friends think, your classmates think. It can hold you back a lot, when you're in school especially. You function a lot of what your friends will think of you. And in my opinion, if you're not on the same boat as your friends, they're not really your friends. They're people in the class that you kind of label as friends just because you're around them. And I refer to as class in school, but I literally mean this for anything. Freaking your family members, your work, then what do you even call them? Office mates, whatever. Yeah, same thing. Just say no and freaking brush them off your life. It doesn't matter.